Greetings, fellow captains, and today in Time in Squad we have a relatively small but significant update at the same time. What is it? Well, let's go take a look at the update, shall we? So here we are. As you can see, we obviously have a brand new character, but let's see what else is in this patch. First, Eleonor login event, just as happened with Kirara. Basically, you log in every day for a few days, and you're basically guaranteed to unlock Eleonor basically for free. And I believe this is the second character that was previously only available in a step-up package similar to her here down here, who we now have access to as free-to-play players. Now, this might seem a little unfair to those that pay to unlock her, but they basically now have a free copy to strengthen her. Anyway, that's with that. Now, time to do the packages. We have a new package for Kara Cromwell, which is her obviously right here. And then there is the main reward, and then exclusive women's card item, that's for her, obviously. Exclusive women's card will not be added to premium or special recruit or in weapon supply. Yes, we know that. That is pretty much standard. But we now know that step-up characters or step-up package characters will eventually be given out for free if we follow this trend up here. Then, assemble and weapon development. Here it is assembled, I believe. Now we have Eleonor and Tremor. Tremor's and just a new regular trash mob from the newest chapter. Yes, we did get a new story chapter recently. Looks like we're going to be getting a new chapter every month or so, which is not too bad. Weapon development. We can now craft the legendary Tree of Rusalka. This is the weapon for Eleonor. I don't know exactly what it does, but we can go take a look at it later. A new chapter, and basically we get a new set that grants attack plus 30% for 2 turns at the start of a round. This is basically designed for arena, so do with that what you will. Character revisions. Now this is kind of important here. Noah Brown. It changes from skill 2 round of that, which is her twin lasers. No, this is the demon girl with the floating eyeball. Yeah, basically if Karkamno is deployed, so basically her. Target is guaranteed to be inflicted with 10% bleed. Okay, so she increases bleed, and if Karkamno is deployed, performers joint attack together. Interesting. This isn't a bond attack. This is just, it happens automatically. So if you have Clara Cromwell, then it's pretty much in your best interest to basically play her up with Noah. Okay, I like this. Expanding the interaction between characters is always good. And this is just a typo. Now, this is a big one. This has changed to Ingrid's skills. Basically, they added that if she is slower than her target, damage is dealt is increased based on the difference. Now, I don't know if this is based a fixed percentage, like if the target has 90 and Ingrid has 80, if it'll increase damage by 10%. I don't know the math here, but this basically changes it from spam speed stat on every single one of your characters to characters now benefiting from going later. So I like this change. And then here, this is the second one. If she isn't attacked during the turn's turn or is only hit by AoE attacks, grants 1 protective shield to an ally with the highest attack. And I believe this is... this can only trigger once every 2 turns, so that's pretty good. Ingrid's weapon, instead of it going for speed, it now increases attack. I definitely accept that. A mission probability description that was active in-game, but omitted from text has been based to the skill description of Kurayami. Oh yeah, this is for Ingrid. So before it was thought that it was guaranteed, but now we know it's 90% chance. New features in-game. This is the important part. Upgrade out just lets you upgrade multiple characters at the same time. Not that important. Team deployment effects added. This basically makes it so that balanced teams, basically those that don't take or do additional damage, now deal an additional 10% damage, I believe. They think it used to be 5. Let's see, when all the deployed characters, when all looking to have different types from each other, all characters HP. So basically they now are able to get a double percentage, one for being all balanced and another for all being different types. Types being the sun, Mercury, moon, all that stuff. Lobby interactions, you can now click on characters and they'll do little actions based on the presets you set. Some don't have yet, but characters that have bonds can now be added to that, according to this. May not trigger on specific motions, that's fine. Products added to Mileage Exchange. This is the free-to-play store. Basically, now you can acquire 1 legendary character available from the normal pool once every 30 days. This is really good, although it is very expensive. But this one here, the epic character that is currently available in the pickup well, in the pickup, what's it called, banner, cannot be bought once for quite a reasonable amount of mileage points, which is very good because I'll tell you later what my luck in the pool. Let's see, core random materials. Basically, HP has now become heal. To combat one of strategy, but core parts now become heal parts, and attack parts now become attack booster. So they're basically completely removing attack parts from what I'm understanding here. We'll check later which ones change or not. Arena and balance set effect buffs. The arena damage reduction for arena sets. Debuff resistance and debuff infliction has been buffed from 25% to 35%. So basically, debuff resistance and debuff infliction is now stronger. HP attack and defense increase for balance sets have been buffed from 10 to 15% in arena, so they're going to be even more difficult to take down. The map design for tactical training has been newly updated. Not sure on that one. I didn't notice anything earlier today. And just a bunch of bugs fixes. So first, let's go check the mileage shop. I believe it is exchange points, mileage. Yes, here we go. So as you can see, for 1,800 mileage points, you can get the 4-star character from the current rate of banner once per banner. This is really good because it took me 8 multis to get Murasaki, but I got Wedding Mai within 3, so yeah. It wasn't a complete waste though. Thanks to that, I am 2 multis away from getting the next limited pickup banner when that next banner rolls around. And based on what I've seen on the data mining site, there are a lot of characters and possible skins coming to the game, so yeah. Now, let's go take a look at Eleonor, who received changes. No, not Eleonor, Ingrid. So her base speed is 82. That is quite slow. It's not the slowest, but it is quite slow. And we now add that to her skills that now increase damage based on how slow versus her target is. This is going to increase. We don't know by how much, but that is pretty good. Now let's go take a look at the new character, Kara Cromwell. Now, based on the Norse, she's actually quite amicable. She wants to basically cooperate with humans. Basically, from what I understand from the story, she wants to set up basically blood donations where the vampires pay us humans for donating blood for them to feed on, which honestly sounds like completely reasonable, well, wishes. But let's take a look at her skills, shall we? Let's see, passive. When attacked, reduce damage taken by 15% for each bleed on the attacker. Interesting. So that's why she guarantees the bleed stacking on Noah. Stacks up to 5 times, so you can reduce damage taken by up to 50% against herself. And when attacking, increases the duration of bleed on target by 1 turn at 50%. Interesting. Very interesting. Hold on. Consumes HP regardless of shield. Okay, fine. Now, skill 3, the ultimate. Converts the blood the character handles into red lightning, striking out enemies 3 times. Recovers her HP by 7.5 for each ally inflicted by bleed before the attack. Interesting. Inflicts 50% vulnerable to bleed on struck targets at 75% chance. Oh. Increases the chance of being inflicted by bleed by 3 times. And bleed damage increases by the same amount. Interesting. Basically increasing damage from bleeds by 50% and basically guaranteeing them to be inflicted. Very nice. If the target is already inflicted with vulnerable bleeding, inflicts 10% bleed at 80% chance. Removes bleed debuff from all allies on last attack. Interesting. Quite interesting. I wonder if there's a way to apply bleeding to our own characters. Now, 3 sorts of blood and throws it. Damage increases in proportion to HP lost. Consumes 10% of ordinary HP to increase damage by 25 before the attack. Quite interesting. If the character's HP is less than 50% on turn start, reduces the cooldown of Crimson Punishment by 1 turn. Crimson Punishment. Is it this one? It's this same one. Okay, interesting. And lastly, more than 50% when using the skill, the target is inflicted by a bleed at 15% chance. If the character's HP is less than 50 when using the skill, is guaranteed to be inflicted with bleed. Okay, so she really wants to exploit bleed. However, the one thing I'm not sure on is this. You want your own for each ally inflicted with bleed. So she is essentially an anti-bleed character, so she fights against Oboro and a couple others that inflict bleed, although I haven't seen any arena teams exploit bleed to that extent. So I'm not sure how useful she'll be, but at least she is an interesting character that is slowly expanding the lore of the 9 nobles who rule the demon realm, and she is the Bloodlord of the vampires. So interesting expansion there. Now let's take a look at her weapons first. Crimson Punishment. This is her second skill. That's what it normally does. And this changes it to 50% defense penetrate before the attack on stern start. Reduce the cooldown of 50% by... Interesting. So here we go. So instead of increasing the damage by 25%, you can have it ignore 50% of defense. That way you deal with super tanky characters. And she is a power, so she can deal with Mai's tankiness quite well. And then Lunatic Crown, this is for her passive, which reduces damage she takes for every bleed on the target, and she increases the damage, increases the duration of bleeds. And this modifies it to 50% lifesteal on targets with bleed, and damage increased by 10% for each bleed the target has. Interesting, so she goes from taking less damage to dealing more damage. This is probably the one you want, especially if you can have a team that applies a lot of bleeds like Oboro and I believe Mass Tamanin as well. So for a character, quite interesting, and I do believe she has a bond. I believe it is on Noah. Let's go track her down. She is a 4-star. Oh, here she is, Noah Brown. Okay, so if we go to her character here, let's see, lower her HP. Let's see, less than increases damage, and the first increases crit damage. First joint attack together, here we go. Okay, if the deploy target is going to be inflicted with bleed. It's only one attack, unfortunately, so it's only one stack of bleed. It does that 3 turns. Performs a joint attack together. But, It's HP less than inflicts instant death at a fixed chance. Consumes temperature to increase damage. I'm not sure how this joint attack together would work. Would she use this skill for free, or would she use her normal skill here, which also has a chance of inflicting bleed? I would assume it would be this one. So I'd be tempted to get... what's her name? Yeah, Kara. I'd be tempted to tempt Kara and Noah just to try how and see how their combination skill works. So yeah, as a patch, pretty decent, very small, but 2 very big important updates in that you can now buy the 4-star on the pickup banner, and the subtenius of skills, and we can now upgrade multiple times. Let's see, training, no. Would it be in inventory? Where would we look for that? Okay, so we want to upgrade them, so let's assume here, upgrade, upgrade all. Okay, here we go. Interesting. Oh, okay, and register materials. Oh, now this is interesting. This is actually very, very useful. Okay, I like this material. Okay, let's switch to 4-star. Those are the 4 stars that I would do. Do we have materials? We only have enough for 2 of them, so that would not be a good idea. And here, I believe I only have enough for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only enough for 1 character. So if I wanted to upgrade Yukikaze, yeah, like that. Interesting, very, very interesting. Obviously, I don't want to use any legendary characters to do that, but that is an interesting system right there. And was there anything else? Oh yeah, we're going to have, let's see, time limited event mission. This should start going on relatively soon once the June Brides in May event ends. That's not the official title, that's just what we're calling it. That's the sales period, login event. This will start, hey, it will start basically on Monday. Yes, it will on Monday. And we'll go all the way to the 15th, so very nice. Now, regarding the June Brides in May event, what are my thoughts on it? Well, honestly, it's okay. It's on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say it is a 5 out of 10. Completely standard event, but it does have a lot of rewards that we were able to get as free-to-play players. Having a guaranteed wedding Asagi was definitely a good idea. The extreme amount of materials you were able to get from each of these. From the first 4, we were able to get a total of 10 special recruit tickets, 10 weapon exchange vouchers, which are extremely rare. And from the 5th one on, you wanted to focus on getting as many copies of Asagi as possible. Let's see, there were also 4-star promotion tickets, which are okay. They're not the best, but they're not 5-star tickets. And then the milestone event, you can use basically these, which you should have a bunch saved up to get a whole bunch of gems, which I'm definitely going to be pushing for throughout this weekend. As for the event story, it's pretty bare bones, but it does, let's see, portray each character and their personalities quite efficient. We can see Murasaki's basically slight over-obsession with Asagi. We can see my shy but cooperative attitude. And we even meet a character, Saga, I believe? Saika, I'm not sure. The one who actually designed this outfit, the demon. And yeah, special event, nothing there. So yeah, that was it for patch 1.1.2, whatever it was. Pretty decent, if small patch, and I am looking forward to this summer's event. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a summer event because there are some very particular names within the data mine files of what characters are coming. Oh yeah, and lastly, we can do... She can do that. We can do that. So then if we come here and we change Yukikaze to a combat stance and click. Yep, that's her. If we put her running, if we put her sleeping, what will happen? Okay, this was pretty funny. The fact that you put her to sleep and she stays asleep is actually... Okay, well done, well done. And lastly, run. What would happen if when we click on her when she's running? Oh, that's her victory pose. Okay. Okay, so very bare bones kind of stuff. Oh yeah, and we also have access to a bunch of 4-star characters that have bond available to them to add to the list. Let's see if we can replace Murasaki with Minasaki. Oh no, she's getting involved in Bitcoin. Somebody stop her. We need somebody to stop her. She can't get involved into Bitcoin. That'll be an absolute disaster. Let's see about her friend then. Lilim. What do you do? Right, so she still has no idea how to handle money. Okay, let's see. Who else can we look at? Let's see. Oh, Yuffie and Sophie. Okay, why not? Let's see what they say. Okay, they don't like the dentist. We can share that sentiment, probably. Let's see, who else is interesting from over here? Let's see, anyone interesting? Anybody interesting? These are all 5 stars from here on forward. Don't really see anybody that might have an interesting reaction. So let's just put her back there. Oh, nope. And then back there. So anyway, thank you for watching, and we will see you next time on the next patch, the next event, or when something big happens with the game. So, later.